Greetings, Kryptonians. Hope all is well in the cryptoverse with you today. Just as predicted by everyone on YouTube, Bitcoin goes exactly sideways for 100 hours. Where was that prediction? What we've got here is basically a bunch of indecision candles. This is the 24-hour daily chart here. Each one of these candles is 24 hours. The white horizontal line is the bottom of this range here. The yellow horizontal line is the top of this range here. Bitcoin has been hanging out there ever since the last big dump. Basically, 4 indecision candles. This one here, after the big dump, is kind of a bullish looking one, but after a big dump, it's just kind of just washy. The next 2 indecision candles, you see the wicks on top and bottom, and basically the body of the candle is just right there in the middle. Now this one here, if this were to close looking like that, that would be a fairly bearish looking guy. That's looking pretty bearish, but it's not anywhere close to closing. We've still got another like 14 hours to go before that one closes. So 6 p.m. Tuesday evening Central Time, that will close, and I'll keep my eye on that. But Bitcoin is just hanging on to those support lines. It's clearly support the bottom of this range, the top of this range. Bitcoin is just kind of stuck there. The calm before the storm, maybe, or maybe the calm before the calm. My last video, I said, watch out, because when everyone on YouTube saying calling for something, it tends to be. I get uncomfortable when I'm in the mainstream sentiment. I get uncomfortable, so watch out for a little pumpy. So let's mark off where might, if there's a little pump coming, where could that go? So let's put a horizontal line here at the bottom of this range. See the top range here. We basically got 4 little ranges here locally, and let's put a white line there. The bottom of the range it just fell out of. Let's put one there. So that would be an area to look at. 22,760. 22,760, folks, would be something that I would watch if there's a pump where it could get rejected. Otherwise, kind of right in this area here where these wicks come down to at about, let's just call it 23,000 even. I don't expect it to go over 23,000. It could, but I don't expect it to. My overall analysis, I'm not going to get off of it. Is we're here, right? We're right in this area, and it may extend into the right into time further, right? But I still do believe this is where we're at, and it's just a matter of time. It kind of feels like to me that they're almost like waiting for more money to come into the market, and volume was good. Let's look at volume. Actually, that's healthy volume. These basically are all 3 indecision candles for it. Like I just started without looking at the volume. That's pretty healthy volume. So go back to this big green pump, February 15th. See how small the volume is down here. See how small that is. That's tiny volume on that giant green candle. It's one indicator that you can say, well, something's fishy there, right? So look at the volume. The volume is actually pretty healthy right now. This red dump here, that's fairly healthy volume. It's not huge, but it's not small. And I wasn't expecting to see that volume actually on that last one that closed. That's the first time I looked at it in a while, a couple of days. That's quite a bit of volume. Yeah, and it's looking like this next one's setting up to be fairly similar. So that's indecision area. So there's money coming into it for sure. We'll see what happens. I'm still leaning to the dumpy, and possibly a little pumpy maybe before the dumpy, and turn my magnet off so I can draw a line. Let's go over to the 5-minute chart. There's really not a whole lot to say. Here you can see on the 5-minute chart here, the white and the yellow horizontal line there. You can see it more clearly how that's support. Ever since this big dump here, right? Here's the big dump, the big red line coming down. It's just basically been on it and below it. So the last couple of days, on the 5-minute chart here, you can see where it's clearly bouncing off that yellow line. Like the daily, you can't see this detail, but 1, 2, 3. There's a bounce off the white line. So these lines are very relevant, right? And look at this last one here, directly off of it. Just boom. Look at that. So you can see how the yellow line is clear support all through this section, with a couple dives down to the white. But for the last March 5th at 3 in the morning, ever since then, clear defined bounces off those lines. See that? See how that's working? So if it comes down again, I would be looking for a bounce off of this is interesting. You can see I have all these patterns. It's basically just one pattern after the next on a 5-minute chart. And when it just kind of starts wandering, just kind of out exploring, is when I get a little, I say something's up, right? Because this here, there's no really defined pattern at all, and that's kind of odd for it not to be in a pattern, because it's basically all a kaleidoscoping, just nonstop morph into one pattern after the next, and there hasn't really been one, with the exception of this channel here. This is kind of strange to see it do this. It's odd. I'm not sure exactly what that indicates, other than it's just a bit odd. So all I can say really for now is my macro, I'm still looking for the dump down to maybe 12,000 over the next month and a half, 2 months, and it could come rapid. It could pound down to 19,000 in just like 15 minutes, right? So the danger for the big move would be a big move down. A move up, I think, isn't probably going much over 23,000, and watch for it to get rejected there and come down. And if it were to have a small dump, but not a big dump, right? If it just kind of meanders around, this yellow line is at 22,319. The white one's at 22,268. Now that's going to be different on different charts and different. This is the USD to Bitcoin chart, and it'll be a little different using like USDT and that kind of stuff. But on the daily chart, okay, the yellow line. This is the USDT chart. The yellow line here is 22,327. The white is 22,297. This one's 22,319. So that's like $8 difference. The white one's 297, 268. That's $29 difference. So general area, but and they'll be a little different from exchange to exchange as well. But if you want to market yourself, all I'm doing here is just marking those wicks, right? These ranges, the bottom wick and the top wick. That's all that is, right? So if it were to dump down, right? If it were to dump down, let's mark. Let's see this bottom wick here. This third level down would be 21,346, and the top of this range here is 21,657. The bottom of this range here is 20,384. So the Fibonacci extensions, the Fibonacci levels are basically in confluence with this. I'm not even looking at Fibonacci, but that's what a lot of the Fibonacci is, right? This whole stuff is, this whole structure is in part caused by the Fibonacci levels. And on the 5-minute chart, just indecision. This is odd. This is not normal. Let's zoom out on the 5-minute chart to show you the last time there hasn't been a pattern. And whoops. Where's the last time there hasn't been a pattern on the 5-minute chart since I've been charting this? Basically nowhere. There's some spots here where I don't have any drawn in, but there's actually patterns there. I just didn't take the time to draw them in. Yeah, so there was one time where it did that and it turned into a symmetrical triangle, and I think that one broke down. a little bit and then pop back up. So yeah, it's strange. Abby normal. That's Abby normal. There's no structure, no pattern to that whatsoever. And that's been going on for since it left that. It's been going on 2100 to 6 hours. 6 hours of nothing. So could be the calm before the storm, folks. When I look at the YouTube titles and thumbnails for Bitcoin videos, and they all turn negative, that's when I want to say, pump the brakes on the dump, right? That's just how it works, man. So that's kind of what this feels like. This kind of feels like it's waiting for some positive sentiment to come in to dump it and then ride this channel down. I hope you liked it, and as always, thanks for watching.